Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around, really looked, and noticed how loud the world has become? Everyone is talking. Everyone is announcing. Everyone is declaring their next big move. But very few, almost none, are actually doing anything. Have you ever noticed that the people who talk the most about what they're going to do end up achieving the least? It's not a coincidence. It's not bad luck. It's not fate. It's psychology. Human nature. We live in a world where everyone is chasing attention, validation, likes, applause. People want to be seen. They want to feel important. They want the world to notice them, even when they haven't done anything yet. And the fastest way to feel important is simple. Start talking. Talk about your dreams. Talk about your goals. Talk about your future success. Start revealing ambitions you haven't worked for even one single day. Because the moment you talk, people respond. They clap. They cheer. They hype you up. They say things like, "Wow, that's amazing. You're going to do big things. This is your year. You've got this." Their words feel good. Their praise feels warm. Their excitement feels real. And that feeling tricks the mind. It creates a temporary illusion, a sugar rush of confidence. You feel like you've already achieved something, even though nothing has happened yet. No effort, no action, no sacrifice, no sweat, no discipline, just talk. And your brain, your emotional brain, celebrates those words as if they're results. That's the trap. Talking gives your mind a fake reward, and your hunger dies. Your urgency disappears. Your fire slows down. Your motivation fades. Your dream goes back to sleep. What you've really done is give away your energy, your momentum, your hunger to become something greater. And once that inner fire weakens, your dream remains just that, a dream. This is why success is never built on talk. Success doesn't respond to words. Success doesn't care about announcements. Success doesn't react to, "I will do it." Success is built in silence. In the quiet moments no one sees. In the late nights, when the world is asleep and you're still awake grinding. In the early mornings, when everything is still and you're already moving. In the sacrifices no one recognizes and no one applauds. In the failures you face alone. In the discipline that hurts. In the decisions that scare you. In the consistency that no one believes you'll maintain. Talking gets attention. Working gets results. That's why silence is powerful, because silence protects your potential from dying too soon. So the next time you feel the urge to announce your plans, don't hold it inside you. Let it burn. Let it grow. Let it pressure you from the inside out. Let the world stay clueless. Let the world keep guessing. Let the world think nothing is happening. Because when you finally achieve what you've been building, when your results show up, when your transformation becomes visible, it won't be because you talked about it. It will be because you lived it, because you turned your vision into reality, step by step, day by day, sacrifice by sacrifice, silent hour after silent hour. Your energy is precious. Your energy is limited. Your energy is not infinite. No matter how motivated you think you are, every dream you have requires fuel to build, requires effort to create, requires consistency to maintain. And every time you tell someone your dreams, you give away a piece of that energy. Every time. Every conversation. Every announcement. Every explanation. Piece by piece, your power fades. Do it too many times and suddenly you're empty. You're tired. You're drained. You're unmotivated. You have nothing left to fuel your actions. Think back on your life. How many times have you said, "I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to change everything. I'm going to become someone new. I'm going to stop wasting time. I'm going to do something big." But you never followed through. Not because you didn't want it, but because you talked about it until your drive disappeared. Because talking gives your brain the emotional reward that real action should give you. Talking becomes a substitute for doing, a weak alternative, a cheap replacement, a fake version of progress. Successful people know this. High achievers know this. Real builders know this. That's why they don't talk. They don't explain. They don't announce. They don't broadcast. They stay quiet. They focus. They build. They train. They improve. They fail in private. They grow in private. They master their craft in silence. And when the results finally come, their work speaks louder than any announcement ever could. People won't understand your dream. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't live with the fire burning inside your chest. Your dream is yours, not theirs. So when you tell them too early, they reply with their fears. It's too risky. It's too big. It's too much. You're not ready. Are you sure? People don't succeed in that. They don't say these things to hurt you. They say them because they are afraid. Afraid of failure. Afraid of change. Afraid of growth. Afraid of stepping into the unknown. And when you listen to them, their fear becomes your fear. Their doubt becomes your doubt. Their limits become your limits. And your dream dies before it even begins. That's why the greatest visionaries protect their ideas, protect their goals, protect their dreams, because one negative voice can kill a seed that hasn't grown roots yet. Your dream must grow in silence until it's strong enough to survive the noise. Success is not one big moment. It's not one lucky chance. It's not one magical decision. Success is a chain, a long, unbroken chain of small, consistent steps, tiny wins, quiet progress, invisible improvements, daily repetition. Success is built in the days that feel boring, in the hours that feel heavy, in the tasks that feel small. But when you talk about your plans, you break that chain. It's like opening the oven too early. The heat escapes. The cake collapses. The process is ruined. Momentum works the same way. Fragile, delicate, powerful. It needs protection. Every time you reveal your plans, you lose energy. You lose force. You lose momentum. Every time you chase validation, you move backwards. Every time you look for approval, you pause your progress. Instead of talking, act. Instead of announcing, build. Instead of explaining, execute. When your results become undeniable, you won't need to say a single word. Your work will speak for you. So keep your head down. Stay focused. Move quietly. Let people underestimate you. Let them wonder where you went. Let them whisper, "Did he give up? Did she disappear?" Let them think you stopped, while you're becoming unstoppable. And when the time is right, when your work is complete, when your growth is visible, when your transformation is real, then show them, not with words, with results. Because dreamers talk, doors act, dreamers announce, doors build. And in the end, words don't matter, results do. But there is something even deeper, something most people never discover because they never give silence enough time to transform them. When you stop talking about your dreams and start protecting them, something powerful begins to happen inside you. At first, silence feels uncomfortable. It feels strange. It feels heavy. It feels like you're hiding something. You might even feel guilty for not sharing your plans with others. But slowly, silence begins to shift your mind. You start feeling your focus returning, your energy rising, your hunger growing again, your discipline strengthening, your old self fading, because silence forces you to face the real battle, the battle inside your mind. In silence, you confront your excuses. You confront your weaknesses. You confront your fears. You confront the versions of yourself that always held you back. And for the first time, you begin to see the truth. You were never stuck because life was unfair. You were stuck because you talked more than you acted, because you shared more than you executed, because you chased approval instead of building results. Silence becomes the teacher you never had. It teaches you that confidence does not come from talking. Confidence comes from competence, from skills, from discipline, from mastery, from evidence of your own effort. When you stop announcing your goals, you stop depending on the world to validate you. And when you stop depending on the world, you finally start depending on yourself. You realize that your progress is your responsibility. Your future is your responsibility. Your transformation is your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to remind you. No one is coming to build your dream for you. Silence makes you understand that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen because of you. Not your friends, not society, not luck, not chance, not motivation. You start waking up differently. You start working differently. You start thinking differently. You start living differently. You stop caring what others think. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop checking who is watching you. You stop explaining your actions. You stop waiting for support. You become committed to the version of yourself that exists within the silence. And in that commitment, you start to rise in ways you never thought possible. But silence doesn't only reveal you. Silence reveals the people around you. When you stop talking, people start showing their true colors. Some people disappear because they can no longer feed on your announcements. Some people grow cold because you're not entertaining them anymore. Some people get uncomfortable because your silence threatens them. They don't understand why you're quiet. They don't understand why you're focused. They don't understand that you're building something they can't comprehend yet. People fear silence because silence is powerful. And when you choose silence, you become unpredictable. You become unexplainable. You become untouchable. That's when people start to notice. They see you pulling away, but they don't know why. They see you becoming consistent, but they don't know how. They see you improving, but they can't figure it out. They see you changing, but they don't know what started it. Your silence becomes a mystery, and in that mystery, your power grows. You gain control over your emotions. You gain control over your decisions. You gain control over your habits. You gain control over your direction. Because the truth is, you can't control the world, but you can control yourself. And once you learn to control yourself, the world can't stop you anymore. In silence, you start building routines you never stuck to before. You start developing discipline you never imagined you could have. You start cleaning your environment, your thoughts, your habits, your life. Small changes that multiply over time. You start sleeping better. You start focusing better. You start thinking sharper. You start executing faster. You start trusting yourself. And trust is everything, because when you trust yourself, you don't need motivation. You don't need inspiration. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. You move differently. You talk differently. You walk differently. You plan differently. You live differently. You become someone who doesn't need to post their progress because they're too busy making progress. You become someone who doesn't need to talk about improvement because they're too focused on improving. You become someone who doesn't need recognition because they recognize themselves. And the more you stay silent, the more your life begins to change. Your mind sharpens, your standards rise, your priorities shift, your friendships evolve, your habits mature, your goals expand, you stop entertaining distractions, you stop tolerating laziness, you stop wasting time. You stop giving energy to people who haven't earned it. You stop trying to impress. You stop trying to prove. You stop trying to convince, because silence teaches you that your journey doesn't require an audience. It requires commitment. And commitment doesn't sound loud. Commitment is quiet. Commitment is steady. Commitment is silent. The world measures you by what you say, but success measures you by what you do. You choose which one matters. And when you choose silence, you choose growth. Even if no one claps for it, you choose improvement. Even if no one notices it, you choose discipline. Even if no one respects it, you choose your future. Even if the world doesn't believe in it yet, because the ones who rise the highest are the ones no one expects, the ones who disappear while everyone else is talking, the ones who stay consistent while everyone else is distracted, the ones who build quietly while everyone else is bragging. And when their time comes, their results arrive like an earthquake, unexpected, unstoppable, undeniable. People say, "How did you change so fast? How did you achieve so much? How did you grow so quickly? How did you become this version of yourself?" They'll think it happened suddenly. But you know the truth. Nothing about it was sudden. It was years of silence, years of work, years of sacrifice, years of discipline, years of rebuilding yourself one silent step at a time. Your transformation was slow, but your impact will be loud. Your silence built a future your words never could. But there's another layer to this journey, a deeper level that most people never reach, because most people never silence themselves long enough to experience it. When you stop talking, when you finally let the noise fade, when you allow yourself to sit with your own mind, you begin to understand the truth about growth. Growth isn't something that happens to you. Growth is something that happens through you. And the moment you stop chasing attention, stop chasing recognition, stop chasing external praise, your focus shifts inward toward the only thing that actually matters, who you're becoming. In silence, you start asking yourself the real questions. What am I running to prove? What am I afraid to confront? What would my life look like if I stopped talking and started doing? What version of myself am I avoiding? What version of myself am I capable of becoming? What is stopping me from becoming that version right now? These questions don't appear in noise, they appear in silence. You're in silence. And in that silence, you begin to see your life with clarity you never had before. You begin to see how much time you've wasted on pointless conversations, how much energy you've lost to unimportant people, how many opportunities you've missed because you were too busy talking instead of acting. You begin to see how often you've sabotaged yourself, not because you lacked talent, but because you lacked consistency. You begin to see that your dreams didn't fail. Your discipline did. And once that truth hits you, you can't unsee it. You can't pretend anymore. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't make empty promises anymore. Silence kills your excuses, because in silence, you hear your own voice, the voice you've been avoiding for years. Stop talking. Start doing. And when that voice becomes louder than the noise of the world, your transformation truly begins. You begin to understand that real change doesn't require motivation. Real change requires a decision. A firm, quiet, unshakable decision. I am done being who I used to be. I am becoming someone new. I don't need to say it. I will prove it. And that is the moment your identity starts to shift. But identity doesn't change because you announce it. Identity changes because you repeat small actions every single day until those actions become who you are. You wake up earlier one day, then two, then a week, then a month, and eventually you don't struggle anymore. It becomes who you are. You cut distractions. You choose focus. You choose discipline. You choose silence, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. And with repetition, your brain rewires, your habits rebuild, your identity transforms. You start to feel different. You start to think different. You start to behave different. You start to live different. The world doesn't understand it because the world didn't see the silent hours that changed you. They didn't see the nights you forced yourself to push. They didn't see the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed with no audience, no applause, no praise. They didn't see the small decisions you made every day that no one else will ever know about. But you know. And that self-knowledge, that self-respect, that inner pride begins to fuel you in a way motivation never could. Motivation fades. Motivation is emotional. Motivation depends on mood. But self-respect lasts. Self-respect grows. Self-respect strengthens you from the inside out. Self-respect becomes the foundation of a new life. And here's the truth. You can't build self-respect by talking about what you'll do. You build it by keeping promises to yourself in silence. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you gain self-respect. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you gain self-respect. Every time you push through instead of giving up, you gain self-respect. Every time you stay silent and let your actions speak, you gain self-respect. And eventually, your silence becomes your power. People will notice it. They will feel it. They will sense it. They will see something different in you. Even if they can't explain it, your presence will change. Your energy will shift. Your confidence will grow quietly, not arrogantly, not publicly, silently, calmly, strongly. And that quiet confidence is the most dangerous kind because it cannot be shaken by anyone's opinion. When you build yourself in silence, you stop depending on the world to validate you. You stop depending on others to motivate you. You stop depending on praise to feel good about yourself. You replace external approval with internal power. And once you develop internal power, no one can take it away from you. People can doubt you. People can judge you. People can misunderstand you. People can underestimate you. People can gossip about you. People can walk away from you. None of it matters because you've been silent for so long. You've learned how to keep moving even when no one stands beside you. You've learned how to grow even when no one believes in you. You've learned how to stay disciplined even when no one appreciates your effort. You've learned how to become unstoppable without needing permission. That is the power of silence. Your silence becomes stronger than their noise. Your focus becomes sharper than their opinions. Your results become louder than their doubts. And as the days pass, as the silent weeks become silent months, your progress compounds like interest in a bank. Small efforts become big improvements. Tiny habits become massive transformations. Quiet consistency becomes undeniable success. People look at you one day and ask, "How did you do all this? When did you change? How did you become this version of yourself?" They think the transformation happened overnight, but you know it happened in silence. It happened in the days you didn't give up. It happened in the decisions you made alone. It happened in the sacrifices no one thanked you for. It happened in the hours no one saw. Success reveals itself loudly, but it is built quietly. And while the world is busy talking, you're busy becoming. While they're announcing, you're advancing. While they're seeking attention, you're seeking mastery. While they're wasting time, you're creating a future they won't recognize until it's too late. Because silent growth is the most powerful growth. And one day, your silence will shock the world. But there comes a moment in every journey. A moment that separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the builders, the temporary from the unstoppable. A moment when silence is no longer just a discipline, it becomes a lifestyle, a way of thinking, a way of moving, a way of living. A moment when you realize that every breakthrough you've ever had, every moment of maturity, every deep realization, every shift in your character came from the quiet places of your life. Not from noise, not from opinions, not from attention, not from applause. It came from you alone, focused, honest, hurt, determined, and unafraid to confront your own truth. Because silence doesn't just build discipline, silence reveals destiny. And when you've lived long enough in that silence, you begin to see something that most people never see. You never needed permission to change. You never needed approval to grow. You never needed validation to evolve. You never needed applause to become great. You only needed one thing, a decision. A quiet, powerful, private decision that the old version of you is no longer allowed to control your future. A decision that says, "I am done talking. I am done explaining. I am done seeking approval. I am done living small. I am done waiting. I am done hesitating. I am done wasting my potential. I am becoming someone new." Ooh, and that decision, that single, silent moment of clarity, is what transforms your entire life. Not a speech, not a promise, not a motivational burst, not a dramatic announcement, just a decision. Because at the end of the day, you finally realize that no one else is responsible for your transformation. No one else is responsible for your results. No one else is responsible for your consistency. No one else is responsible for your growth. It's you. It's always been you. And it will always be you. And when that truth finally clicks, something inside you awakens. You begin to understand that your past was loud, but your future will be silent. Silent but powerful. Silent but disciplined. Silent but unstoppable. Silent but undeniable. Because once you've been forged in silence, you become someone who no noise can break. You become someone who doesn't chase validation. You chase mastery. You become someone who doesn't need praise. Your work is the praise. You become someone who doesn't need attention. Your results demand attention. You become someone who doesn't care who's watching. because you're too focused on becoming the best version of yourself. And soon, your silence begins to intimidate people. They don't understand how you became so strong. They don't understand how you became so focused. They don't understand how you became so disciplined. They don't understand how you became so consistent. They don't understand that you killed the old you in silence. They don't understand that you rebuilt your life in silence. They don't understand that you sharpened your mind in silence. They don't understand that you destroyed your excuses in silence. They don't understand that you fought your demons in silence. They don't understand that you created the new you piece by piece, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. And one day, without warning, without announcing, without preparing anyone, you rise. Not a small rise, not a subtle rise, not a temporary rise. A rise so powerful that the world is forced to pay attention. A rise so strong that people cannot ignore you anymore. A rise so unexpected that people who doubted you go silent. A rise so undeniable that your results become your introduction. People look at you with shock in their eyes, saying, "When did he change? How did she improve so fast? Where did this confidence come from? How did this transformation happen? When did this level appear? How did he become this strong?" They'll think it happened suddenly. They'll think it came out of nowhere. They'll think it was luck. They'll think it was chance. But you know deep inside, nothing about your transformation was sudden. You know about the nights you cried alone, but still kept going. You know about the mornings you woke up tired, but still showed up. You know about the moments you felt lost, but refused to quit. You know about the days you doubted yourself, but still moved forward. You know about the sacrifices no one else will ever see. You know the truth. Your success was built in the quiet corners of your life, and now the silence has created something that the noise never could. Strength, focus, discipline, identity, purpose, direction, transformation, legacy. And this is where your journey reaches its truth. This is where everything you've learned in silence comes together. This is where you finally understand the real difference between the people who talk and the people who become. Dreamers talk, doers act. Dreamers announce, doers build. Dreamers imagine, doers execute. Dreamers seek attention, doers create impact. Dreamers wait, doers begin. Dreamers speak loudly, doers rise quietly. And when doers rise, they rise in a way that cannot be ignored, because in the end, not today, not tomorrow, but at the end of your journey, your words will not matter. Your announcements will not matter. Your promises will not matter. Your speeches will not matter. Only one thing will matter: your results. Your results will define your legacy. Your results will prove your identity. Your results will silence every critic. Your results will validate your journey. Your results will speak louder than you ever could, because the truth has always been simple: words fade. Noise fades, attention fades, opinions fade, doubt fades, fear fades. But results remain, results echo, results inspire, results last, results speak forever. And that is why your silence was never a weakness. Your silence was your preparation. Your silence was your sharpening. Your silence was your rebirth. Your silence was your power. And now, after everything you've built, after everything you've learned, after everything you've survived, your silence will become your victory. Your silence will become your strength. Your silence will become your greatness. Because in the end, after the journey, after the struggle, after the sacrifice, only one truth remains: words don't matter, results do.